Karnataka Government, Kannada Medium, Second Language English. Standard 10, Unit 1, Prose Lesson A Hero by R K Narayan. This video will help you improve English vocabulary and spelling, learn English pronunciation and accent, read fluently in English with good intonation, answer examination questions correctly. You can translate sentences and paragraphs into Kannada. Go to Google Translate on the internet. Type the sentence and it will translate it into Kannada. Paragraph 1. Vocabulary practice. Listen to the pronunciation of the words and repeat them. Events. Events. Took an unexpected turn. Took an unexpected turn. Reading. Reading. Listen. Listen. News has been received. News has been received. Bravery. Bravery. Village. Village. Lad. Lad. Returning. Returning. Jungle path. Jungle path. Came face to face. Came face to face. Tiger. Tiger. Fight, fought. Fight, fought. Flight. Flight. Killed. Killed. Reading practice. Listen to the reading of the text and read along. Try to imitate the pronunciation and intonation. For Swami, events took an unexpected turn. Father looked over the newspaper he was reading under the hall lamp and said, "Swami, listen to this. News has been received about the bravery of a village lad who, while returning home by the jungle path, came face to face with a tiger." The paragraph described the fight the boy had with the tiger and his flight up the tree, where he stayed half a day till some people came that way and killed the tiger. Paragraph 1. Important points to remember. Swami's father was reading a newspaper. He saw a story. A village boy was walking in the jungle. A tiger came. The brave boy fought the tiger. The boy climbed a tree and stayed there. After half a day, some people came and killed the tiger. Looked fixedly. Looked fixedly. Strong. Strong. Grown up. Grown up. Wiser than the newspaper. Wiser than the newspaper. Sneered. Sneered. Strength. Strength. Coward. 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 Strength of a straw. Strength of a straw. Courage. Courage. Age. Age. Not important. Not important. Disputed the theory. Disputed the theory. Attack. Attack. Prove. Prove. Sleep alone. Sleep alone. Reading practice. Listen to the reading of the text and read along. Try to imitate the pronunciation and intonation. After reading it through, Father looked at Swami fixedly and asked, "What do you say to that?" Swami said, "I think he must have been a very strong and grown-up person, not a boy at all. How could a boy fight a tiger?" "You think you are wiser than the newspaper?" Father sneered. "A man may have the strength of an elephant and yet be a coward, whereas another may have the strength of a straw, but if he has courage, he can do anything. Courage is everything. Strength and age are not important." Swami disputed the theory. "How can it be, Father? Supposing I have all the courage, what could I do if a tiger should attack me?" "Leave alone strength. Can you prove you have courage? Let me see if you can sleep alone tonight in my office room." Paragraph 2. Important points to remember. After reading the story, Father asked Swami's opinion. Swami said only a strong grown-up man can fight a tiger. Father did not agree with Swami. Father said courage is very important. Age and strength are not important. Father wanted Swami to prove his courage. Father told Swami to sleep alone in the office room that night. Frightful proposition. Frightful proposition. Sleep, slept. Sleep, slept. Granny, granny. Passage, passage. Trembling and awake. Trembling and awake. Joking, joking. Mumbled weakly, mumbled weakly. Change the subject, change the subject. Loudly, loudly. Great deal of enthusiasm, great deal of enthusiasm. Hereafter, hereafter. Elders, elders. Brand new, brand new. A frightful proposition, Swami thought. He had always slept beside his granny in the passage, and any change in this arrangement kept him trembling and awake all night. He hoped at first that his father was only joking. He mumbled weakly, "Yes," and tried to change the subject. He said very loudly and with a great deal of enthusiasm, "We are going to admit even elders in our cricket club hereafter. We are buying brand new bats and balls. Our captain has asked me to tell you." Paragraph 3. Important points to remember. Swami was afraid to sleep alone in the office room. He always slept with his grandmother. Swami tried to change the subject. He told his father that elders would be admitted to the cricket club. Later, later. Cut in, cut in. Hereafter, hereafter. Realized, realized. Gone beyond his control, gone beyond his control. Challenge, challenge. Command, command. Tenacity, tenacity. "We'll see about that later," father cut in. "You must sleep alone hereafter." Swami realized that the matter had gone beyond his control. From a challenge, it had become a command. He knew his father's tenacity at such moments. Paragraph 4. Important points to remember. Father ordered Swami to sleep alone in the office room. Swami had to obey his father's command. Disgraceful, disgraceful. Beside, beside. Second form, second form. Brought up, brought up. Wife, wife. Rocking the cradle, rocking the cradle. Hardly know anything, hardly know anything. Spoiling, spoiling. Turned away, turned away. "From the 1st of next month, I'll sleep alone, father." "No, You must do it now. It is disgraceful sleeping beside Granny or Mother like a baby. You are in the second form, and I don't like the way you are being brought up, he said, and looked at his wife, who was rocking the cradle. Why do you look at me while you say it? She asked. I hardly know anything about the boy. No, I don't mean you, said father. If you mean your mother is spoiling him, tell her so, and don't look at me, she said and turned away. Paragraph 5, important points to remember. Swami said he would sleep alone from the 1st of next month. Father disagreed. Father told Swami to sleep alone from that night. Father said Swami was not a baby, but a 7th standard student. In father's opinion, Granny was spoiling Swami. Short answer questions. Swami's father drew his attention to a report in the newspaper. What was the report about? Answer. The report was about a brave boy who had fought with a tiger. The report said that the boy who fought with the tiger stayed on the tree for half a day. Why did he do so? Choose the right answer. He wanted to watch the tiger from the top of a tree. He wanted someone to kill the tiger. He wanted to take rest for some time. Answer B. He wanted someone to kill the tiger. Swami said that a very strong and grown-up person might have fought with a tiger. Do you think he made this remark out of his experience, wisdom, belief? Choose the most appropriate word. Answer C. Belief. Can you prove you have courage? Swami's father said. Answer the following questions. A. Was he joking or serious? Answer. Father was serious. B. Was it a challenge or a command? It was a challenge. The place where Swami usually slept was? Fill in the blank. Answer. The place where Swami usually slept was in the passage beside his granny. What is disgraceful according to Swami's father? Sleeping beside granny or mother like a baby was disgraceful. Gloomily gazing, gloomily gazing, rose silently, rose silently, tiptoed, tiptoed, sleepily, sleepily, wild gesticulations, wild gesticulations, to silence his granny, to silence his granny, through himself, through himself, blanket, blanket, over his face, over his face. Swami's father sat gloomily gazing at the newspaper on his lap. Swami rose silently and tiptoed to his bed in the passage. Granny was sitting up in her bed and remarked, "Boy, are you already feeling sleepy? Don't you want to hear a story? Swami made wild gesticulations to silence his granny, but that good lady saw nothing. So Swami threw himself on his bed and pulled the blanket over his face. Paragraph 6. Important points to remember. Swami got up silently and went to sleep with Granny. Granny wanted to tell Swami a story. Swami tried to tell Granny to be silent. He threw himself on his bed and pulled the blanket over his face. Leant over and whispered. Leant over and whispered. Even if the house is on fire, even if the house is on fire. If I don't sleep at once, perhaps I shall die. If I don't sleep at once, perhaps I shall die. Turned over and curled. Turned over and curled. Snored. Pulled away. Pulled away. Granny said, "Don't cover your face. Are you really very sleepy?" Swami leant over and whispered, "Please, please, shut up, Granny. Don't talk to me, and don't let anyone call me, even if the house is on fire. If I don't sleep at once, perhaps I shall die." He turned over and curled and snored under the blanket till he found his blanket pulled away. Paragraph 7. Important points to remember. Granny tried to talk to Swami. Swami told her to keep quiet. Swami wanted to sleep very quickly. He pulled the blanket over his head and pretended to sleep. His father came and pulled the blanket away. Stood over him. Stood over him. Looked like an apparition. Looked like an apparition. Semi-darkness. Semi-darkness. Lit by a cone of light. Lit by a cone of light. Stirred and groaned. Stirred and groaned. Pleaded. Pleaded. Disturb. Disturb. Presently his father came and stood over him. "Swami, get up," he said. He looked like an apparition in the semi-darkness of the passage, which was lit by a cone of light from the hall. Swami stirred and groaned as if in sleep. Father said, "Get up, Swami." Granny pleaded, "Why do you disturb him?" Paragraph 8. Important points to remember. Father told Swami to get up. To Swami, his father looked like a ghost. Swami pretended to sleep. Granny told father not to disturb Swami. Hesitated for a moment. Hesitated for a moment. Rolled, rolled. Under his arm. Under his arm. Threw a look of appeal. Threw a look of appeal. Slunk behind him with bowed head. Slunk behind him with bowed head. Very dusty. Very dusty. Scorpions. scorpions. Lamp burning, lamp burning. Learn not to be afraid of darkness. Learn not to be afraid of darkness. It is only a question of habit. It is only a question of habit. Cultivate good habits. Cultivate good habits. Leave the door open. Leave the door open. Laughing stock. Laughing stock. Get up, Swami, said Father for the third time, and Swami got up. Father rolled up his bed and took it under his arm and said, "Come with me." Swami looked at Granny, hesitated for a moment, and followed his father into the office room. On the way, he threw a look of appeal to his mother, and she said, "Why do you take him to the office room? He can sleep in the hall, I think." "I don't think so," Father said, and Swami slunk behind him with bowed head. "Let me sleep in the hall, Father," Swami pleaded. "Your office room is very dusty and there may be scorpions behind your law books." "There are no scorpions, little fellow. Sleep on the bench if you like." "Can I have a lamp burning in the room?" "No. You must learn not to be afraid of darkness. It is only a question of habit. You must cultivate good habits." "Will you at least leave the door open?" "All right, but promise you won't roll up your bed and go to your granny's side at night. If you do it, I'll make you the laughing stock of your school." Paragraph 9. Important points to remember. Father took Swami's bed to the office room. Swami's mother told Father to let Swami sleep in the hall. Father did not listen. Swami told Father that the office room was dusty and there may be scorpions. Swami wanted to keep a lighted lamp, but Father did not agree to this. Father wanted Swami to learn not to be afraid of darkness. Swami could leave the door open, but he could not go and sleep next to Granny. If Swami went to sleep near Granny in the middle of the night, Father would tell everyone in the school that Swami was a coward. Everybody would laugh at Swami. Short answer questions. What do you think was the practice of Granny before she went to bed? Answer: she would tell Swami a story. Was Swami really sleeping or was he pretending? He was pretending to sleep. To Swami, his father looked like an apparition. Why do you think Swami looked at his granny and his mother while following his father to the room? He wanted them to support and help him. There might be scorpions behind your law books, said Swami. A. Had he really seen them earlier? Or were there scorpions really? Answer: no. B. Was it a trick to escape from his father? Answer: it was a trick to escape from his father. Cut off from humanity. Cut off from humanity. Pained and angry. Pained and angry. Strain of cruelty. Strain of cruelty. Father's nature. Father's nature. Hated. Hated. wished, wished, had not spared, had not spared, monster, monster. Swami felt cut off from humanity. He was pained and angry. He did not like the strain of cruelty he saw in his father's nature. He hated the newspaper for printing the tiger's story. He wished that the tiger had not spared the boy, who didn't appear to be a boy after all, but a monster. Paragraph 10. Important points to remember. When Granny and Mother did not support Swami, he was angry and pained. In his opinion, his father was a cruel person. He wished the tiger had eaten the boy. In his opinion, the boy was a monster. Night advanced. Night advanced. Silence deepened. Silence deepened. Heart beat faster. Heart beat faster. Remembered. Remembered. Stories of devils and ghosts. Stories of devils and ghosts. Chum, chum. Banyan tree, banyan tree. Spat out blood, spat out blood. River's edge, river's edge. Slapped his cheek, slapped his cheek. Returning home, returning home. Faint with fear, faint with fear. Ray of light, ray of light. Strayed in, strayed in. Cast shadows on the wall, cast shadows on the wall. Stillness, stillness. Noises, noises. Ticking of the clock, ticking of the clock. Snoring sounds, snoring sounds. Insects humming, insects humming. Could hardly breathe, could hardly breathe. As the night advanced and the silence in the house deepened, his heart beat faster. He remembered all the stories of devils and ghosts he had heard in his life. How often his chum Mani had seen the devil in the banyan tree at his street end. And what about poor Manisami's father, who spat out blood because the devil near the river's edge slapped his cheek when he was returning home late one night? And so on and on his thoughts continued. He was faint with fear. A ray of light from the street lamp strayed in and cast shadows on the wall. Through the stillness all kinds of noises reached his ears. The ticking of the clock, rustle of trees, snoring sounds, and some vague night insects humming. He covered himself so completely that he could hardly breathe. Every moment he expected the devils to come up to carry him away. There was the instance of his old friend in the 4th class who suddenly disappeared and was said to have been carried off by a ghost to Siam or Nepal. Paragraph 11. Important points to remember. Swami became more and more afraid as the night advanced. He remembered many stories of devils and ghosts. His friend Mani had seen a devil in a banyan tree. Muni Sami's father had been slapped by a devil near the river's edge. Swami could hear all kinds of noises and he became more and more afraid. He thought the devil would come and take him away. Hurriedly got up, hurriedly got up, crouched, crouched, much safer, much safer, compact and reassuring, compact and reassuring, encased, encased, unknown to himself, unknown to himself, racked with nightmares, racked with nightmares, chasing him, chasing him. Feet, feet, stuck to the ground, stuck to the ground, desperately tried to escape, desperately tried to escape. Claws scratch the ground, claws scratch the ground. Loud thud, loud thud, threatened, threatened, groaned in despair, groaned in despair. Swami hurriedly got up and spread his bed under the bench and crouched there. It seemed to be a much safer place, more compact and reassuring. He shut his eyes tight and encased himself in his blanket once again, and unknown to himself, fell asleep, and in his sleep was racked with nightmares. A tiger was chasing him. His feet stuck to the ground. He desperately tried to escape, but his feet would not move. The tiger was at his back, and he could hear its claws scratch the ground. Scratch, scratch, and then a loud thud. Swami tried to open his eyes, but his eyelids would not open, and the nightmare continued. It threatened to continue forever. Swami groaned in despair. Paragraph 12. Important points to remember. Swami put his bed under the bench and slept there. He fell asleep but had bad nightmares. In his nightmare, the tiger was chasing him and he could not run. He heard a scratch, scratch noise and a loud thud. He tried to open his eyes but could not. Desperate effort, desperate effort. Granny's presence, Granny's presence. Touched the wooden leg, touched the wooden leg. Lonely state, lonely state. Sweated with fright, sweated with fright. Rustling, rustling. Stared into the darkness, stared into the darkness. Moving down, moving down. Gaze in horror, gaze in horror. End had come, end had come. Pull him out and tear him, pull him out and tear him. came nearer, came nearer, crawled out, crawled out, hugged it with all his might, hugged it with all his might, used his teeth on it like a mortal weapon, used his teeth on it like a mortal weapon. With a desperate effort, he opened his eyes. He put his hand out to feel his granny's presence at his side, as was his habit, but he only touched the wooden leg of the bench. And his lonely state came back to him. He sweated with fright. And now, what was this rustling? He moved to the edge of the bench and stared into the darkness. Something was moving down. He lay gazing at it in horror. His end had come. He realized that the devil would presently pull him out and tear him, and so why should he wait? And as it came nearer, he crawled out from under the bench, hugged it with all his might, and used his teeth on it like a mortal weapon. Paragraph 13, important points to remember. Swami opened his eyes and put out his hand to feel Granny. He touched the wooden leg of the bench. He was alone and afraid. He heard a noise. Something was moving in the office room. Swami thought the devil had come to kill him. Swami decided to attack the devil first. He came out from under the bench, hugged the devil, and bit the devil with his teeth. Short answer questions. Swami wished that the tiger hadn't spared the boy, which means A. He didn't want the boy to be alive. B. He didn't want the tiger to be alive. Answer. He didn't want the boy to be alive. As silence deepened in the room, what was Swami reminded of? Answer. He was reminded of stories of ghosts and devils, his friend Mani, who had seen a devil, Manisami's father, who was slapped by a devil. Which place in the room did Swami think was safe, compact, and reassuring? Answer. The place under the bench. Swami touched dash in the room instead of Granny. Answer. The wooden leg of the bench. Swami saw a moving creature in the room. It was his shadow, a scorpion, a man. Answer. A man. Bitten, bitten. Agonized, thundering cry. Agonized, thundering cry. Tumbling and falling. Tumbling and falling. Burglar, burglar. Bleeding ankle. Bleeding ankle. Ayo, something has bitten me, went forth an agonized, thundering cry, and was followed by a heavy tumbling and falling amidst furniture. In a moment, father, cook, and a servant came in, carrying light, and all three of them fell on the burglar, who lay amidst the furniture with a bleeding ankle. Paragraph 14. Important points to remember. A man cried loudly that something had bitten him. The man fell down with a loud noise. Father, the cook, and a servant came in with a light. They saw a burglar on the floor. The burglar's ankle was bleeding. showered on, showered on. With respect, with respect. Patted his back, patted his back. True scout, true scout. Bitten into the flesh of, bitten into the flesh of. Notorious housebreakers, notorious housebreakers. Grateful, grateful. Congratulations were showered on Swami next day. His classmates looked at him with respect, and his teacher patted his back. The headmaster said that he was a true scout. Swami had bitten into the flesh of one of the most notorious housebreakers of the district, and the police were grateful to him for it. Paragraph 15. Important points to remember. The next day at school, everybody congratulated Swami. His friends looked at him with respect. His teacher patted his back. His headmaster called him very brave. Swami had bitten one of the most notorious housebreakers. The police was grateful to him. Grown up, grown up. Politeness, politeness. Made up his mind, made up his mind. The inspector said, "Why don't you join the police when you are grown up?" Swami said, for the sake of politeness, "Certainly yes," though he had quite made up his mind to be an engine driver, a railway guard, or a bus conductor later in life. Paragraph 16. Important points to remember. The police inspector advised Swami to join the police after he grew up. But Swami wanted to become an engine driver, a railway guard, or a bus conductor. Didn't have a wink of sleep. Didn't have a wink of sleep. Usual place. Usual place. Lost her temper. Lost her temper. Risk his life again. Risk his life again. Mumbled. Mumbled. Molly cuddle and spoil. Molly cuddle and spoil. Don't blame. Don't blame. Tremendously relieved. Tremendously relieved. Giving up on him. Giving up on him. When he returned home from the club that night, father asked, "Where is the boy?" "He is asleep." "Already?" "He didn't have a wink of sleep the whole of last night," said his mother. "Where is he sleeping?" "In his usual place," mother said casually. "He went to bed at 7:30. "Sleeping beside his granny again?" father said. "No wonder he wanted to be asleep before I could return home. Clever boy." Mother lost her temper. "You let him sleep where he likes. You needn't risk his life again." Father mumbled as he went on to change. "All right, Molly, cuddle and spoil him as much as you like. Only don't blame me afterwards." Swami following the whole conversation from under the blanket, felt tremendously relieved to hear that his father was giving up on him. Paragraph 17. Important points to remember. That night Swami went to sleep before his father came home. He slept in the passage next to Granny. His father was not happy, but his mother told the father not to put Swami's life in danger. Father said that the mother and Granny were spoiling Swami. Swami was very happy that father had stopped trying to improve him. Short answer questions. Who cried, "Ayo, something has bitten me"? Answer, the burglar who had come to steal things. Who did father, cook and a servant stumble upon? The burglar who had come to steal things. Why were congratulations showered on Swami? Answer, Swami had bitten one of the most notorious housebreakers of the district. Do you think Swami really wanted to join the police? If not, what did he want to be? Answer, Swami wanted to become an engine driver, a railway guard, or a bus conductor. Did Swami muster up courage to sleep alone after the burglar incident? Answer, no. He slept near Granny. Who supported Swami, his mother or Granny? Answer, his mother. Long answer questions. A report about a boy in the newspaper was an unexpected event in Swami's life. Justify. Answer, his father wanted Swami to prove his courage. Father told Swami to stop sleeping beside Granny. He ordered Swami to sleep alone in the office room. Swami was afraid to sleep alone. Swami made a comment on the newspaper report. Was he right? How did his view differ from that of his father? Answer, in Swami's opinion, a boy cannot fight a tiger. Only a strong grown-up person can fight a tiger. In father's opinion, strength and age are not important. Courage is important to fight a tiger. What desperate attempts did Swami make to escape from his father? Answer, Swami tried to change the subject. He told his father that elders will be admitted to the cricket club. Why did Swami conclude that his father's proposition was frightful? Answer, Swami was afraid to sleep alone. He had always slept beside Granny in the passage. He did not want to sleep alone in the office room. As the night advanced, Swami felt that something terrible would happen to him. What would it be? How would it happen? Swami expected the devils to come up to carry him away. There was absolute silence in the room. In spite of it, some noises reached Swami's ears. What were they? Swami could hear the ticking of the clock, rustle of trees, snoring sounds, and some vague night insects humming. Narrate Swami's dreadful experience when he was lying under the bench. Answer, Swami fell asleep. He had bad nightmares. In his nightmare, a tiger was attacking him. He wanted to escape, but he could not run. There was a loud thud noise. Swami tried to wake up, but could not. How was Swami honored by his classmates, teacher and headmaster? Answer. His classmates looked at him with respect. His teacher patted his back. The headmaster said that he was a true scout. Why did father want Swami to sleep alone in the office room? His father wanted Swami to be brave. He did not want mother and granny to spoil Swami and make him a coward. Who do you think was wiser, Swami or his father? Justify your preference. Nobody was wise. Swami was clever. He was able to escape from sleeping in the office room. He pretended to be asleep and listened to the conversation from under his blanket. Why did Swami feel relieved at the end? His father did not force him to sleep in the office room. His father left him alone. Swami was very happy that his father stopped trying to improve him. Suppose you are Swami of the story. Write a brief letter to your friend describing how you helped to catch a burglar in your house. Dear friend, last night I was sleeping alone in the office room. I told my father I am a big boy now. I want to sleep in the office room and not near Granny. In the middle of the night, I heard a sound. I got up and saw a big bad burglar. I shouted at him and hit him and bit him in the leg. I fought with him and hit him with a big stick. The burglar was very afraid of me. He sat on the ground and began to cry. I called my father. He came and tied up the burglar and called the police. Now I think I can even fight a tiger or even 2 tigers. With regards, Swami. Some words describing the characters of the story A Hero are given in brackets. Put them in the appropriate columns. Swami's father, mother, granny, Swami. Caring, caring. Innocent, innocent. Authoritative, authoritative. Helpless, helpless. Protective, protective. Tricky, tricky. Disciplined, disciplined. Nervous, nervous. Swami's father, authoritative, disciplined. Mother, protective, nervous. Granny, caring, innocent. Swami, tricky, helpless. Homophones. Homophones are words that sound the same but have different meanings and different spellings. To, to. Road, road. Pair, pair. There, there. We had too many apples to carry. I rode a horse at the Marina Beach. Did you have a pear for lunch? The books are over there on the shelf. Fill in the blanks by choosing the appropriate word and complete the story. Story, story. Night, night. Red, red. Through, through. Far, for. By, by. At, yet. Off, off. went, went. Fair, fair. This is a story told by a knight. Once he received a letter. When he read it through, he could not believe his own eyes, for it was written by none other than the queen of the land. She asked him to meet her at a secret place. The knight was in a fix, but he thought of a plan to tide over his problem. He went to the meeting place, not alone, but along with his fair wife. Can you guess what happened then? Scramble the letters to form words. See the meaning clues in the brackets. Praise, flatter. Suspect, doubt. Unhappy ending, tragedy. Appease, fragment. Careful, alert. Short supply, scarcity. Not cruel, sympathetic. Language function, refusing an invitation. Imagine the headmaster meets Swami after the burglar incident. He offers an invitation, but Swami refuses it politely. Read the dialogue. Headmaster: Swami, if I'm not wrong, you still look nervous. Swami: Me? No, not at all, sir. I'm all right. Headmaster: That's good. How did you find that there was a burglar in the room? You've done a great thing. In fact, I've decided to honor you. Come on. Swami: Many thanks, sir. I'd love to be there. But I have an important function at my grandpa's house. Not now, sir. Headmaster: How about next week? Swami: That's a good idea, but let me think about it. Headmaster: Okay, Swami. Language function, accepting invitation. Imagine you are Zakir. You have been invited by your friend to be present at the award-winning ceremony occasioned by his winning 3 first places in a sports competition. Accept the invitation. Look at the dialogue and practice in pairs. Vasu: Hi, Zakir. How are you? Zakir: I'm fine, Vasu. You look wonderful. Anything special? Are the competitions over? Vasu: Yes. I've got some good news to tell you. I won 3 medals, all first places. Zakir: That's fantastic. Come on, let's celebrate. Vasu: That's why I have come here to see you. The sports authorities are going to have an award-winning ceremony tomorrow at the town hall. It will be at 4 in the evening. I want you to be there. Zakir: Hooray! Certainly I'll be there. Not at 4, but even earlier. Let's have sweets now. Come on. Vasu: Oh, sure. Imagine that Swami receives advice from his father and his granny. How would Swami say that he accepts it or refuses it? Write a dialogue using the expressions given below. Accepting advice, ideas and suggestions. That's a very good idea. Thank you. Of course, I didn't think of that. Many thanks. Thanks for suggesting it. I think I will. I think I must do that. Yes, I will. That's very good of you to make the offer. That's very kind of you. I will. Granny: Why don't you go out and play? Swami: That's a very good idea. Thank you. Father: You could share these sweets with your friends. Swami: Of course, I didn't think of that. Many thanks. Granny: Tell your father to check these math sums. Swami: Thank you for suggesting it. I think I will. Father: You must practice more to win the cricket match. Swami: I think I must do that. Granny. Would you like to listen to a story? Swami. Yes, I will. It's very good of you to make the offer. Father. You can sit at my table and do your homework. Swami. That's very kind of you. I will. Refusing a suggestion, advice, or help. Thank you for the suggestion. I'll certainly think about it. That may be a good idea. Let me think about it. I think on the whole, I'd rather not. Thank you all the same. It is certainly a possibility. May I think about it? That's very good of you, but I'm not sure I want to. Do you mind if I didn't? I know you're being kind. Granny, why don't you learn yoga? Swami, thanks for the suggestion. I'll certainly think about it. Father, practice saying your multiplication tables every day. Swami, that may be a good idea. Let me think about it. Granny, would you like to eat this bitter chutney? Swami, I think on the whole I'd rather not. Thank you all the same. Father, would you like to learn boxing? Swami, it is certainly a possibility. May I think about it? Granny, would you like to go with me to the market? Swami, that's very good of you, but I'm not sure I want to. Father, you can use my pen to write with. Swami, do you mind if I didn't? I know you're being kind. Reading comprehension, task 1. A man went to an astrologer. Astrologer. Come, my child, your name is Suraj Khanna. Khanna. Yes, indeed. Astrologer. You have 2 sons and 2 daughters. Khanna. How true. Astrologer. You bought 4 kilos of sugar and 5 kilos of rice yesterday, and there are 5 members of your household remaining after your parents passed away. Khanna. I'm impressed. But can you tell me about my future? Astrologer. Okay then. Come back with your horoscope booklet tomorrow. And here, take your ration card back. Answer the questions. Mr. Khanna was surprised at the astrologer's prediction. What made him feel so? Answer. Everything the astrologer said was true. Why wasn't the astrologer able to predict Mr. Khanna's future? He did not have Mr. Khanna's horoscope. In the conversation given above, who do you think has better common sense? Answer. The astrologer. Reading comprehension. My brother, an army doctor, was part of a UN peacekeeping mission in the Congo. At the end of the 1-year term, his Congolese commander awarded him a letter of merit that ended with, and he worked hardly to restore normalcy in the region. Which word in the passage above gives the opposite meaning of what was meant to be said? Answer. Hardly. The phrase worked hardly means did very little work. The phrase work hard means to work very hard. Learn grammar through communication. Use of modals. There are 10 types of modal verbs. Can, could, may, might, will, would, shall, should, must, ought to. Modal verbs are used to express ability, to make predictions, to seek permission, to give permission, to make suggestions, to give or seek advice, to give orders or commands. Some sentences are given below. Rewrite them beginning with the clue given in brackets. Identify the language function. One example is given. Example. Is it alright if I sit here? Begin with could. Function. Seeking permission. Sentence rewritten. Could I sit here? Please return my library books. Begin with will. Answer. Will you return my library books? Function. Request. The files are heavy. I'll carry them for you. Begin with would. Answer: would you like me to carry the heavy files for you? Function: suggestion, offering help. That's your essay. Perhaps you will have no objection if I see it. Begin with me. Answer: may I see your essay if you have no objection? Function: seeking permission. Let me switch on the fan, okay? Begin with do you. Answer: do you mind if I switch on the fan? Function: seeking permission. Bring the books to my office. Begin with would. Answer: would you bring the books to my office? Function: request. Watch the episode The Hero on YouTube. The link has been given below in the description box. Thank you.